Hello there. My name is Michelle Mercier, and I'm the CEO and president of the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce. And welcome to another membership spotlight video. I am very excited to welcome Ruth Agbaji. Did I say it right?
You said it right.
Yes. Of Thrive AI Implementation Consulting to the show. Ruth, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This is a really great conversation that we're going to have about AI, and very timely, very needed for our business owners and our business people. So tell me, before we jump in, tell me about your background, your experience, and kind of what led you to this professional moment.
Okay. So I'm going to give it to you in very short form.
Okay,
because
that's fine. There's a lot of it. I know. You have a lot. Yeah.
So real quick on my background. I was born and raised in Nigeria. And in order to get out of a very difficult situation in Nigeria, I taught myself how to code.
Cool.
And that was my introduction into technology. I got a scholarship. I came to the US. I got my master's in computer science. And then I went on to work as a software engineer at Microsoft.
Yeah.
So at Microsoft, it was an amazing experience. You know, we're doing all the things, earning really good money.
Sure.
But I always had the call. I always had the feeling that I was born to be an entrepreneur. And so it was at that time I started growing my family. I decided I was going to leave and start my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had learned how to code, I had seen the power of technology and how it can change lives. I decided that for my small business, I was going to start an after-school program for kids that teaches kids coding and robotics. So in 2017, I started CodeWiz in Westford, Mass. And you know, a lot of people would come, and I'm sure business owners have experienced this, where people come and they tell you, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Do you have a center in Marlborough? Do you have a center in Worcester?
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, I got really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, we could take over the world. So
As we all get excited.
Yes. Exactly. So I decided that I was going to franchise the business.
Yeah.
So that we could, you know, have CodeWizes all over the world and really impact kids and change people's lives, because I do believe in the power of education as well. So started franchising in 2019. I brought on private equity partners in 2021. Worked with them for about 4 years. We grew CodeWiz to about 40 locations around the U.S. But then just for many reasons, I decided last year to step down from that role and do something different.
Cool.
And around that time, you know, that's when AI had come on the scene, I think about 2022. And I had been a power user of ChatGPT, but I hadn't really really spent the time to really dig into it.
Right.
And so as I was stepping down and handing things over, I started to look into AI, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is a revolution that is happening. And because I talked to a lot of small business owners, just with franchisees, and I had a consulting company on the side where I worked with immigrant business owners. So I talked to a lot of business owners, and I realized that many of us didn't realize the power that was inherent in AI.
Yes.
And, you know, when you talk to business owners, many times they're talking about how much they don't have time for anything. You know, they started the business. A lot of people would say, I started business so I could have more time for my family, or so I could make some more money, you know, generational wealth and all of that. But we're stuck in this cycle of doing administrative work, you know, doing social media captions, and it all takes so much time.
It does.
And so I decided that because I love education, I love technology, and I'm a geek at heart. And I decided that I was going to start this AI consulting company where I help small business owners implement AI in their business, because I really want them to be empowered to be able to live the dream that they had when they started the business. And AI is that partner for, you know, I see it as a partner. I think it's that partner that could help them get to where they want to be, because it gives them back their time, which is the most precious
explain
resource.
that a little bit more, right? Because we all know, like, oh, well, you type something in ChatGPT and it gives you something back. But AI is so much more than that. So when you go in and you work with a small business owner, what does that look like? Like, what do you do for them? What can you offer them?
Okay. So the very first thing that we do, one of the mistakes that I see small business owners make when they try to implement AI is they try to implement it in every facet
Sure.
of their business, which inevitably leads to overwhelm,
Yep.
confusion. You spend so much money on this tool, nobody knows how to use it, and then you never use it, and then you've just wasted time and effort, and you're still in the same place that you were before.
Right. Okay.
So the very first thing that I encourage business owners to do, and this is a process that I outlined in my book, which is coming
Awesome.
out, which
I love
is
that. Well,
on
we will
Amazon.
definitely talk about that a little bit more.
The very first thing that I help the business owners to understand, or to figure out rather, is where exactly are you losing time?
Right.
What is taking up much of your time? What is taking up so much of your time that you are not able to spend time building your business? What is that time sink? What is that time suck?
Mhm.
And so they outline that. And once we outline that, then we start to think about what AI solutions can we apply to this problem to make it either go away or to reduce the amount of time that you're spending on this problem. And then after that, we go and we calculate the return on investment that you would
Nice.
get if you solve this problem with AI. Because, for example, if a business owner says, we're spending a lot of time sorting books, right? That takes too much time. And the solution is a robot, an AGI powered robot
Yeah.
that comes in and helps you sort the books. That's a great solution.
Yeah. But what's
But
the ROI?
the ROI that is going to be very, very slim.
Yeah.
So maybe we find a different
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
that we solve with AI and start small. So start small, start with something simple, get comfortable, get your team comfortable,
Sure.
and then you can start to expand and scale from there.
That's so interesting. And I think you bring up a great point that people are just kind of like, oh, let's throw AI at it. But I think like any other tool, like there has to be a strategy behind it. And there has
Exactly.
to be thought behind it and stuff like that. So I mean, is that the most important thing that you think business owners should know about AI right now? Or are there more things that you think they should know?
I mean,
So
AI
there's
is
a lot. There's a lot of
huge-
things I know.
It's a whole different world. I think the most important thing, honestly, that business owners need to know and need to accept is that AI is here to stay.
Yes.
It is here to stay. It's not going to replace you.
Mhm.
It really is your partner.
Right.
And there will always be the need for what we call the human in the loop.
Sure.
And so don't be afraid to embrace it. It really could be a game changer. And I think that honestly, it's not so much what tools should we be using. It's the mindset of AI is here to stay,
Yeah.
and thinking about how you can embrace it so that you cannot be left behind.
Yes.
I really believe that, now we look at a business and we say, wow, they don't have a website?
Yeah.
That's
Same
so,
thing. Same thing. That's
1970s.
AI's going to be, yeah.
But that's exactly where we're
Yep.
going. Is people are going to be like, whoa, they don't use AI in their business. That's so,
Yeah.
1980s. So, so it's coming. It's here to stay. The faster we embrace it, the better we as business owners would be, the better off we would be.
So this is a question I didn't give you, but it just popped in my head. What's the most common kind of questions that you get around AI from business owners?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of questions around privacy.
Sure.
Yeah, around
Yeah.
privacy. Is all of my content going to be out there? Is everybody going to use, see and have access to things that I have built that are
Right.
proprietary to
Sure.
me? I think that's one of the most common questions I get. Another question is usually, where do I start?
Yeah.
This is overwhelming.
It is very overwhelming.
Yeah,
Yes.
where do I start?
Yeah.
I would say those are the two most common questions.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, the privacy thing, I mean, good for them to be thinking about it, right? Like you always want to be kind of towing the line. You and I were speaking earlier about like with media, social media and
Right.
technology, always towing that line of using it responsibly,
Right.
but using it, efficiently
Right.
as well. You have a lot of other things going on though, friend, too, that I would like to talk about. So let's talk about your TEDx
Okay.
talk, please, because I thought it was fantastic. So tell people more about that.
Sure. So I gave a TEDx talk in oh my gosh,
gosh,
it
when
feels
was
like
it?
April.
Yes. Yes.
April. And the TEDx talk was titled Think Like a Coder.
Nice.
And it really drew from my experience of trying to get out of a difficult situation in Nigeria, and how I used a certain mindset, thinking like a coder, the mindset of a coder, to get out of that situation. And I think it's applicable really to this conversation that we're having,
Sure.
because the central theme of that talk was start with what you have. You
Yeah.
don't have to wait for perfect conditions.
Mhm.
You don't have to wait for everything to be lined up before you start pursuing something that you are interested in, or something that you know is good for you, or a dream that you have.
Right.
Just
Start.
decide on the vision and then start. Just take that next best step. What is that next best step? And then you can figure it out from there. So with AI too, it's the message to business owners is it seems very overwhelming, but you know that you have to do it. But the best thing you can do right now is just start.
Just start.
Just
Anywhere. Start anywhere.
Just start anywhere. Just
And
take
I think,
that next
or
step.
call you.
Or call me.
Or
Yes.
call Ruth to help you. I think that is, I think you made a really great point earlier of you will be left behind. And you do not want to be the person, like you said, going, oh gosh, I wish I had, or I hadn't, and I think there's no right or wrong answer as to how you start, to your point, right?
Exactly. Another thing to add to that too is, consumers are also starting to get used to interacting with AI. They're going to start getting used to receiving personalized services. They're going to start getting used to interacting with businesses that are different from how we've done that, from how we've done it in the past. And so if you are not actively integrating AI in your processes, your workflows, and how the services that you're rendering to your consumers, very soon you will start to see a drop off, because people will start to wonder, oh, they're not fast enough. They don't respond fast enough.
Consumer behavior is going to change.
Exactly. Consumer behavior is going to change, and you will be you will start to lose revenue.
I mean, at the same time, to your earlier point as well, though, humans aren't going away.
Right.
There's still, I think you're always going to have that person-to-person relationship. I think it's just more of in the processes or in the operational efficiency.
Correct.
Right. That you can use it from that perspective.
Exactly. So if, now if I am looking for a plumber, I'm used to waiting maybe 48 hours for them to get back to me or to be able to talk to someone on the phone. But with AI, you could front load a lot of the frequently asked questions and free up your people to be able to have more conversations with people faster.
Yes.
So it's not about, completely eliminating the human. It's about removing the mundane work so that we can have the human to human interaction.
It's the scalability of it, right? And I think that's if, AI does anything fantastically, it will be helping businesses scale, because that is one of the challenging things that every business owner runs into from a scaling perspective. One other thing, let's talk about the book, friend, because that's coming, or it'll, by the time this airs, hopefully it'll be there, right? That's what we're looking for, right? So tell us about that.
All right. So the book is called The 25-Hour Day.
I love it.
And it comes from, from my perspective as a business owner, I always thought to myself, first of all, as we all know, there's always the to-do list that never gets done.
Nope. Always.
Because as you strike one off, you're putting something else at the bottom. And I always remember thinking, oh man, I wish I had just 2 more arms to get this list done. Or just 1 more hour in my day.
Yeah.
And I believe that is what AI, that's the power of AI. It gives us that extra, the ability to create that extra hour in our day.
Yeah.
So that's where the title of the book came from. And I really wanted to target folks, business owners, who are not technical, because I think for someone who may not be very technical, the whole world of AI can feel very, very overwhelming.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I try to break it down because I taught myself how to code. I didn't have that traditional path where, I went to undergrad for computer science and all of that. So I don't always speak tech.
Right.
Like everybody.
You speak person?
I speak person. I don't have all the lingo.
Right.
But I understand technology. And so I try to approach the book from that perspective, where I'm breaking everything down into just easy to understand language, and just try to break down the process for how people can think about adopting AI. Again, it's not about the tools. It's how do you think
you're thinking about it,
about adopting AI. But here's what happened. So I wrote the book, preparing to publish it, and I decided to give a workshop on the book to a group of business owners. And even as simple as I thought it was, everybody was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is too much. This is confusing. And I'm like, huh, okay.
You have to go even simpler.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have to
Yeah.
go even simpler. So I edited the book and went even simpler. And then I added a tool
Cool.
with the book so that anybody who gets the book also has access to a tool where you can talk to, it's called Risa. She's an AI powered business coach.
Oh, awesome.
And so she's
great.
trained on all of the techniques that I talk about in the book. And so if people find, the book, oh my gosh, this is a lot, I'm still a little confused, they can use the tool to say, I'm trying to implement AI in 90 days. Where do I start?
Wow.
This is the problem that I have. Can you help me come up with AI powered solutions?
Yeah.
Will this solution be, how expensive will this solution be to implement? How inexpensive will it be to implement?
That is so smart, friend.
Yeah. So
wow. That is amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And I think it'd be great. I think it would help a lot of business owners understand the theory of AI, just a little bit of it, just enough to be dangerous. And then the tool gives them, Risa, I should call her Risa, gives them the hand-holding support that they would need to actually implement it.
What a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I think you're going to start a revolution. All books are going to come with an AI buddy. I think that's fantastic.
That is where the world is going.
An AI buddy with your book. You don't need a book club anymore. You just talk to the AI. Fantastic. All right. Well, tell us anything else that we might have missed. Anything else that you want to cover, you want folks at home to know about you or your business.
Yeah. So because the world of AI is so vast, I've decided to really focus on a specific group of business owners that I know that I can help. So any business owner that has a lot of repetitive processes or, you do a lot of training or people are asking you the same questions over and over again, and you want your own AI buddy. Yeah. I'm your girl.
That's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can help with, just thinking about strategy and how to implement AI in your business. But where my experience really comes into to help small business owners is to build custom apps. So I'll give you an example. I was working with an assisted living facility, a manager, an administrator, and they are often having to reference about 800 to 1,000 pages of PDFs almost every day to stay compliant.
Sure.
And it was hard, and they were always missing things. And so when the inspectors would come for inspections, they would be slapped with $100,000 fines because they missed something.
Yeah.
So I built a tool for them that ingested all of those PDFs, and now they just talk to the PDFs. So they just ask questions, and it tells them exactly how to stay compliant, and so they don't have to be paying all these expensive fines anymore. Yeah. So
that's a crazy ROI.
It's a crazy ROI. Yes.
That is what you created value like that.
Yes.
Yes, that is fantastic. What a great example. And I think hearing you speak about examples like that will give people more inspiration because they don't realize what they're doing with it as well.
Right.
Or thinking outside the box to kind of solve their own challenges. All right. What else you got? Anything else that you think we should know at home? You've given us a lot to think about.
I think that's it, really. I think my core message continues to be don't be afraid of it. Yeah. Just embrace it. People were afraid when computers came out. They were afraid when the internet came out. Yeah. But these are things that are here to stay, and these are things that would help us if we use it the right way.
Right. If we use it the right way.
Yes,
that is the key.
That is the key thing, is to use it the right way.
Well, tell people where they can find you so that they can, leverage you for all your knowledge.
Sure. So I can be found on LinkedIn. I do a lot of posting on LinkedIn. So my handle, I believe, is Ruth-Agbaji.
They'll find you. Google it.
Or you can go to my website, www.ruthagbaji.com.
That's fantastic. Well, this has been enlightening, and I think I could talk to you for hours about AI because it's such, like you said, a huge topic.
It is a huge topic.
But it's awesome, and thank you so much for being here.
Me.
I think sharing your story and letting people hear all about you just makes it more, trustworthy and gives it more proof of why they should be working with you. Sure. All right. For all of those at home, please make sure that you help and spread the word about this great business. And don't forget to support local. And we will see you next time. Thanks again.